We have covered the work of William Henry Babcock in episode 481. Today we will cover his 1901 The Tower of Wye. In 17th century England, Richard Smith and his friend Warren joined the ship of notorious liar Captain Fleet, who was tigers carrying a boat full of women to become planters' wives in the New World. Immediately the twain noticed two lasses in particular on board, but Warren's attention is also taken up by one of the many strange tall tales told habitually by Captain Fleet, of Virginia Dare of the lost colony of Roanoke, who, deathless and exiled from Christendom, goes about the natives as a strange magical apparition always working for those in need. But then a Turkish pirate ship begins its pursuit of the tiger and keeps doggedly following them for many days. Warren and Smith get the idea of dressing their 60-odd female passengers in male clothes to make it appear they are fully manned, so to speak. The pirates board them anyway, but a chance storm separates the two vessels. Richard is left alone with 30 women, but not his Marjorie or Warren. He finds an English slave from the pirate ship who aided him and his fellows, just before the man dies screaming when he sees a mysterious man also come from a Turkish pirate ship. This new man speaks to Richard as if he was the devil, making many sinister references to all his horrible deeds, but eventually winds up overboard. Grounding on a beach, Richard and the 30 women under his care eke out an existence in its barren corner, but there is a series of attacks from the natives, including the abduction of a woman named Susan Fortescue. They barricade themselves on the ship and are besieged, but then their pursuers are chased off by the forces of the paramount chief of the Accomac, who also reunite them with Warren, Marjorie, and most of the rest who went missing on the pirate ship. Seemingly this man is Debedaiwan, the Laughing King and the Emperor of the Eastern Shore. Things begin to calm down as they settle down and the women find husbands, despite some of them very much caring for Richard after he was the sole man around and their sole source of protection. Richard tries to organize an expedition to save the missing Susan but fails, and beside a figure in a canoe that might be her, and seeing a vision of his demonic pursuer from aboard the Tiger, they find nothing and never follow up on this. Then there are internal struggles with another group of colonists headed by Leonard Calvert, sworn enemy of their leader, Secretary William Claiborne. They build themselves a fortress on the Isle of Wye after they must abandon their homesteads. Warren goes out to sea against them and gets killed, leaving his beloved Alice widowed without marriage, and Richard gets sentenced to be hanged for killing a man who was already dead. But the mysterious Virginia Dare has him rescued. He is brought into a strange cavern where he is once again visited by the evil man from aboard the Tiger, before Virginia Dare comes to find him and brings him back to his people hiding as outlaws in the woods, her true nature still strange and incomprehensible. Richard returns to his Marjorie and they hold themselves up in their fort before having to return to England before coming back eventually. The novel seems somewhat confused, going from scene to scene without much of a central plot.